in the lunch break for a little bit, so this will be short and sweet, probably about 15 to 20 minutes. I watched the Clemson South Carolina game, aka it was a rock fest. Like if Clemson could have hit any shots, it would have been a game, but Clemson could not hit anything from the outside. It, it, and then finally South Carolina just took over in the fourth quarter, and that game was done. So I guess in this one, what I will talk about is the game yesterday. I'll go to this view. The game yesterday between South Carolina, or no, UCLA, North Carolina, UCLA, and UCLA. God, I've already forgotten the game. UCLA and who did they play yesterday? Oh my God, I've totally slipped my mind. It's not a good start. UCLA yesterday. Can I forget that? The reason is I have NC State versus USC still in my mind from yesterday, but UCLA took out. It wasn't Tennessee. Who did UCLA play yesterday? My God. Oh, of course it was Oklahoma. I got there eventually. Oh, my old timers, man. Um, yeah. So with the game yesterday, UCLA, I thought the first quarter was even. I thought Oklahoma got hurt by Beers' foul trouble, and it was back and forth. But overall, UCLA was the better team. Oklahoma was still turning over the ball too much, and Oklahoma just got nothing from Aaliyah Chavez. Chavez could not buy a shot. Finally, in garbage time, she got a few buckets to go, but overall, she was MIA and just couldn't get anything. And it's a delicate balance, and that's what I think as well. Let me know if the sound's all right because I'm outside. I don't know if the sound is good quality or not, but yeah, it's interesting with Oklahoma and Varanchik, Jenny Baranchik sticking with Chavez. You understand it, and Gottlieb was in the same situation with with USC because she doesn't have much else. And at one point, Gottlieb was still. At one point, Jazzy Davidson was like 1 for 16, I think it was. So it was, but she kept with her. Davidson figured it out in the second half, and I was like, okay, is Chavez going to figure it out in the second half or not? That was always the question for me. Um, why does my credibility? I can smell it all. February we play LSU, South Carolina beat them. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Hey, how you doing? Um, Yeah, so that was my take on that. Like the freshmen, we've been so spoiled with the freshmen the last few years, with Hannah Hidalgo and obviously Juju Watkins, and then last year with Sarah Strong and Edwards. I just don't know if these freshmen are going to have quite the same impact. I think the best one I've seen so far is Akia Johnson. I think she's had the best one. But those are the main two. The main one I've seen so far is Akia Johnson. I haven't been able to catch much of Stanford. I want to see how they play. But yeah, it doesn't look like these freshmen are going to have the impact that obviously Strong had and Hannah Hidalgo. Of the five big time teams, that's the question. Um, who is like I've got UConn one. People accuse me of being a UConn homer, but if Fudd and Sarah Strong are healthy, that's just going to be tough because they have parts around them that can shoot. Then I think it's going to be two is I like Texas too, but they really haven't played that much yet. I'm curious. I want to see when Texas lines up versus UCLA. That would be interesting to watch. I want to see how they go, and that'll tell us a lot. But I do I think Texas looks really good because I like Aaliyah Crump, and that Vic is putting her in the starting lineup. I just think they're nasty with Cunningham, Booker. You got Crump, and then Jordan Lee, and then Roy Harmon at point guard, and then you've got Preston coming off the bench, who she's a good change of pace guard. That's just tough. And then UCLA, they looked good yesterday. Like they did. Personally, I've said it before, but I like I like Ledger Walker running the point. I think they look better when Ledger Walker's running the point and Kiki Rice is on the wing. But that's just my feel for it. But to be determined. But I'm like Lucy with the football. Corey Close, I believe in Corey Close, and she always pulls the ball away from me. So I'm not buying UCLA until I actually see them win the championship. And maybe this is the year. I mean, Neepkins is a perfect fit, but I still don't know if they have enough shooting. Like Hawk has in previous years, she shot well versus in the game versus Oklahoma, but her shooting has always been a little bit streaky. I don't trust Kiki Rice's shooting, and Ledger Walker's never been a great three-point shooter. So really, you only have the one, and they lost London Jones. If I have Lauren Betts, I just want shooters all around, in my opinion. So then UCLA though would still have three. Then I have UCLA, not UCLA. I would have LSU four, and it's in the recent chat, everybody's like, LSU plays a weak schedule, and that's true, and that's the way Kim Mulkey does it. But in my opinion, I like the way the roster's constructed. I think she looks good. Now, it wasn't top-notch opponents, but I mean, we'll find out when SEC plays, when they play South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, it'll be found out. Either they have it or they don't, and I just think they are ultimately going to be good, really good when the end of the season finishes up, because I do like Kate Caval. I think she's looked really good. Let's see, what are the comments? Credibility stinks. I can smell it all in February when you play LSU. South Carolina will beat them. Well, we'll see. South Carolina, and that's who I have fifth, is South Carolina. And it's not their fault. I mean, you lose Chloe Kitts and Ash Watkins out for the season. That's going to hurt you. And the question with them is, a coach, how good can she be, and how quickly can they get her developed? In addition, Joyce Edwards, can she expand her game? Those would be the questions for me. So that would be a thing. Why don't we just wait till the teams play better? Well, yeah, like I say, it'll be figured out when they play SEC. That'll definitely figure it out. Why would anyone accuse you of something so obvious? I don't know. How did you feel about, Chavez? Yeah, I think it's too early, I would say, to judge somebody off 2 games, Chavez. I mean, she's big and strong. I wouldn't judge a bad shooting night. She got schooled on the one from Neekins. That looked bad in the fourth quarter, but she's a freshman. I just think, much like when Haley Van Lith put a target on her back when she went to LSU, I think Chavez has put a target on her back with the whole 1 million, and who knows if it was actually $1 million that she was seeking to get or not. But that has just really put a target on her back that, hey, you need to be that everything recruit. And it just shows you how freaky Juju, Sarah Strong, and Hannah Hidalgo were. Hidalgo was the point guard on Team USA for the under 18s, I think, and she hadn't even had her freshman year. That just shows you what a freak of a point guard she was. So I just think everybody's spoiled by them, and it will take time for Jazzy Davidson and for Chavez to find their feet. But eventually, she'll be a good player. I have no doubt about that. And at Oklahoma with their offense, she's going to eventually get buckets. I think Vranchek was doing the right thing by letting her play through it, much like how Gottlieb was doing it, but it's that fine line. If it was the NFL, she would have been pulled because it would win the game. I think these college coaches played a bit smarter and say, no, it's about winning in March. I've got to let her take her lumps and see how she goes. You're very smart, and you think, and you have some of the best commentary on YouTube, in my opinion. But you are UConn homer. Make nonsensical picks against. Listen, don't go by my picks. If you go by anybody's picks, you're an idiot. Anybody that sports bet, I probably just screwed myself on ever getting a gambling podcast. But if you put sports bets down or think that any of the commentators know what's going to happen, then you are crazy. So if you take anything from my commentary or anything else is don't bet on sports. It is, even if you're good, they'll ban you the sports books. So stay out of betting. All right. So if you want to hold it against me that my picks aren't good, go have at it by all means. Chavez didn't look good to me. Yeah, but it's her second game. Chavez didn't look good. Give her time. I mean, I don't think Chavez or Jazzy Davidson, like I say, is going to be Sarah Strong Juju or Hannah Hidalgo. But I do think they're going to be good, and it'll take time. Again, the most impressive one I've seen so far is Zakiya Johnson, but it's early, and as people will point out, LSU has not played anybody really good. It was good with South Carolina. Agot McCure played tonight, so that's good because she went out in one of the games in the third quarter holding her side, so it appears that was nothing significant. And I think South Carolina is really going to need Agot McCure because they don't have much to back up as well. Olivia Vicosa is signing tomorrow. Yeah, that's a big sign for UConn. So UConn's front line is going to be devastating. You'll have Vicosa and you'll have Sarah Strong. They'll just dominate up front. And I don't want to spoil. I'm trying to get a video out tonight on UConn just rehashing the game versus Florida State. And I'll throw flowers at the beginning to Sarah Strong and AC Fudd. I mean, what are you going to do? They dominate. But you can only talk about how great they are. And then I think the next interesting questions are the battles for minutes. So how hard basically Shade's going to be pushed a bit by Heckle and Zabel. And the other one is just the big battle because you've got sort of a three-way battle going on between Sarah Williams and Sarah Williams, El Alfie, and Ice Brady, and I just see no way Ice Brady can win that battle. I mean, she's going to lose out because if UConn goes small, why would you have Ice Brady in there over Sarah Strong? If UConn's going small, it'll be with Sarah Strong, and if UConn's playing with a big, then why wouldn't you have Sarah Strong at the 4? So I just think unless Ice Brady can get over her situation with a shot, I just think Ice Brady's going to have to either live on the bench or eventually decide to transfer out, much like Caden Samuels did. I think let's see, any other comments? Anybody's? My other ones, let's see, other takes I have just quickly, and then I got to get out of here. I told you it was going to be a short one just to check in. Looking at South Carolina, it's interesting, these players that transfer in the portal. The one I'm thinking, like, there are 2 players that transferred, and it's like, man, did you make the right choice? Emma Reese with Florida State, so she transferred from Notre Dame, and I just don't get it. Like, Notre Dame got cleared out. You would have had your chance to play with Hidalgo. She was the shooter that Notre Dame needs. Why, if you would have been a bit more patient, would it have been better to wait? The other one I wonder is the same thing with Malaysia Fulwiley. And you don't have a crystal ball to predict the future, obviously, but man, she would have gotten time in South Carolina. It would have been better in hindsight for South Carolina with all their injuries. I mean, Don Staley didn't have a crystal ball to know that Watkins and that Kitts would go down or not be playing this year. But boy, if I was South Carolina, I would feel much better if Malaysia was there and you knew you were developing Malaysia and Tess Johnson to go into that senior year and then really build for the national championship the next year. They'd have the one national championship already, get their minutes this year with Joyce Edwards, and you'd really build that threesome and really get them going. I think if they could do it together, I wonder if they could hop in the time machine, if they would rethink what they would do. And probably not. There's probably money on the table that I'm not looking at, but that's the way I think about it. Okay, McDowell. You know what? Did she go for any points in this game? Did she play in this game, McDowell? Because, again, I was at work, so I had it on in the background, so I wasn't watching too intently. But the one that stood out, I was watching Agot McCure a bit more. But, yeah, they're going to need McDowell because I don't know. With South Carolina, we'll see what Don can do with him over the course of the next few months. But I think South Carolina is going to have to play small one way or another. I just, if you're going to have Raven as your point guard and then a Coat as your center, that's just giving up. Those are two players that just crush you on offense. And, Don Staley will figure it out. But I would much rather have McDowell and Edwards up front and run it that way with a Cott maybe. But I think that's the thing that looks so far is they're going to struggle to score. I guess if you're Raven at point, you'd have Latson at the off guard, and then Tessa, and then I would probably, I said it in the preseason one, maybe a Gott or McDowell playing that 4 position, and then Edwards playing the 5. And I know they're small and get killed on the boards, but I'd rather that than a Coat, in my opinion. But Don will figure it out. The freshman to watch this year, okay. Okay, she was idle. Is she injured or what, or do you know? Because I didn't see her in that game. But the LSU Duke, that's the one I want to see, because then we'll find out if I'm full of it, and because I think LSU is going to be good, but LSU will play Duke, I think on the 5th of December. That's the one coming up. And then I don't have the exact date. When is Texas playing UCLA? Is that like on the 23rd of November or something like that? That would be interesting to watch as well. I think I want to see those matchups. And then I think on the other side, I think South Carolina is playing Duke, which should be a good matchup as well. And then you can sort of cross-check that to see how South Carolina does versus Duke versus how does LSU do versus Duke. That would be interesting to see as well. So, all right. Before I go, any comments, any questions before I go? As I said, I haven't done this at lunch very much, so I just thought I'd do a quick one just because I watched that game and I thought it was good. By the way, it's a beautiful day here. I don't know if you can see the golf course over there, but it'd be a beautiful day to go play golf. Yeah, I'll try to get a video out tonight. It'll be a UConn one, just looking at their minutes and sort of breaking that down. And eventually, in the next week or two, I want to try to get one out on the freshmen. Like, I know it's really early to be breaking down the freshmen, but yeah, just who's doing what so far, because I want to take a look at Stanford as well and seeing how because they have Haley Swain and Shumfai is there as well. So Stanford will be interesting, the ACC, to see how quickly they develop. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Have a good night. If you like this quick little stream, give it a like. All right, good night.